Our countries enjoy long-standing ties of friendship, solidarity, and cooperation over many years. These ties are rooted in our shared history, our common aspirations for African development, and our mutual commitment to peace, democracy, regional integration, and multilateralism. Kenya remains one of South Africa's most important strategic partners in East Africa and on the continent more broadly. During our negotiations and exchanges, we extensively reflected on our bilateral relations. We have expressed satisfaction at the current state of our relations, which is coordinated through the Joint Commission for Cooperation at the level of our two foreign ministers. Our economic partnership is one of the most strategic pillars of our bilateral cooperation. Kenya remains South Africa's largest trading partner in East Africa, and it is also an important destination for South African investment on the continent. Leading South African companies have made significant investments in Kenya in sectors such as pharmaceutical services, retail and financial services, information and telecommunications, manufacturing, business services, and infrastructure development. South Africa's development finance institutions, such as the Development Bank of Southern Africa, alongside private financial institutions, are increasingly expanding their footprint in Kenya, particularly in renewable energy, infrastructure, and private sector development. We equally welcome the growing participation of Kenyan businesses in the South African market and the strengthening of commercial linkages between East and Southern Africa. But as South Africa, we want to see more Kenyan businesses investing in our market, and we want to see more Kenyan goods being on the shelves of our country, our shops in South Africa. And Ebola, clearly, as President Ruto has said, it's a pandemic. It's a pandemic that should concern all of us on the African continent. And as South Africa's role is the champion for the prevention of these pandemics, we have been quite deeply involved in the process of dealing with Ebola on our continent. But as South Africa itself, we've decided that we will be very proactive and be Pan-African and support the efforts that the African continent should make to deal with Ebola. We've made a contribution, as you might well have heard, of $5 million to the AU CDC to strengthen the CDC's effort to ensure that we have all the resources to be able to fight and to deal with Ebola. And for us to do so is to protect the peoples of Africa, but so also that when we protect South Africa and make sure that we do not in any shape or form ever have Ebola, we're protecting the whole continent as well. And so this contribution is meant to strengthen health systems in the DRC, in Uganda, as well as the AU CDC will be making that type of initiative because our health systems on the continent do need to be not only strengthened, but there needs to be readiness to deal with pandemics like this. And in this regard, we call on all other countries and institutions that are able to lend a hand to make a contribution to enable the AU CDC to be able to deal with this challenge quite effectively. South Africa appreciates Kenya's key role as a gateway to East Africa and as one of the leading voices on matters of peace, security and development on the continent. We reaffirmed our shared commitment to strengthening the African Union and its institutions and ensuring that Africa speaks with one voice in addressing continental and global challenges. And in this regard, we appreciated and thanked the important role that President Ruto is playing to strengthen the African Union through the various reforms that must be concluded to make the African Union stronger and to make it much more effective. The African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement provides a very unique opportunity for our two countries to further increase trade relations. In January 2024, I was pleased to witness the first shipment of exports from South Africa to Kenya under the African Continental Free Trade Area Preferential Agreement. President Ruto and I agreed that the Africa Continental Free Trade Area must serve as a catalyst for inclusive growth, industrialization, and job creation for our peoples. It should facilitate development of regional value chains and support African manufacturing and create greater opportunities, particularly for young people, for women, and for entrepreneurs across our continent. Our economic relations are coordinated through the South Africa-Kenya Joint Trade Committee, which met last month. The Joint Trade Committee reaffirmed the importance of promoting a more balanced and a mutually beneficial economic partnership through increased investment, industrial cooperation, skills transfer, technology exchange, and support the value addition and manufacturing in both economies. South Africa is keen to continue exploring opportunities for cooperation in infrastructure development, in logistics, in transport, in energy and related sectors.